What is up, everybody, and welcome to the DNVR Nuggets pregame show. Let's go!
Lasers.
Guys, I don't know where you are. I don't know how you're feeling, but I'm telling you right now, the energy at the DNVR bar, I don't think it's ever been better.
It's unmatched, man.
Unmatched.
This is fucking wild.
This place
I'm just
is
going to go
popping.
ahead and curse in the intro right here.
We got our first Let's Go Nuggets chant an hour ago.
Yeah.
An hour ago when it was already full. It continues to get even more full.
I could barely make my way through the bar to get upstairs an hour before tip.
It's crazy, man. Like, the energy is so great in this building. And Nuggets fans are feeling, I got to say, Nuggets fans feeling optimistic, feeling good. Hopefully we're in store for a really great night. We're presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Download it right now. Superstar Dev. His vibes are also immaculate, and he's going to be making some money. Look at him.
Make money,
Look at him. There it is, baby. Over here, the man in the flower shirts.
Shout out Joe Spence, who drove here from Montana.
Man, big
Come
shout.
to this bar.
They come from far and wide.
They go from far and
Shouts.
wide, man. Get here early because you don't want to drive that far and get here late.
Yeah, new rule, guys, for the playoffs. It's at least an hour. It's at least an hour ahead of time.
I got the handsome one, the man with the wind in his hair, Harrison.
On your point, if you can't hear any of us during this pregame show or the postgame show, it's not because of the mics, it's not because of Kale, it's because of what's going on down there.
It's insane. I'm telling you, this is a hungry fan base. This is a hungry fan base. I've never seen a fan base so hungry. And then over here, Superstar Dev.
I thought it was some like "Let's Go Nuggets" chants when I walked in. It was "F the Blazers" going on. Like,
We had
it's
F the
rowdy down
Blazers?
here. It's exciting,
Dude.
Everybody's into it.
It's so wild. We had an F Norman Powell chant. I kind of like Norman Powell.
You are allowed to boo at the DNVR bar. We allow that here. It's actually encouraged.
Someone broke a beer glass, and it turned into a Let's Go Nuggets chant.
We also had an F the Lakers one, which kind of warmed my heart. Warmed my heart.
Probably
Not even playing them
the
tonight.
first of like 20 of those
There
probably
is one
tonight.
girl down there in a Lakers jersey, and
Let's not ruin it.
all right, I'm
Let's not
sorry.
ruin somebody's girlfriend. But
I was going
she
to
don't
go
know
kick her
better.
out, but we can.
Guys, we're going to talk about tonight on the show. We're going to talk about key players. We're going to talk about the Fac-Hole. Nuggets going into enemy territory tonight. The crowd's going to be aggressive. They're going to be mean. They're going to be booing. They're going to be yelling. Who do you trust to handle it the most? And then, of course, some bets. But first, Harrison, take us to today's pregame conversation with Michael Malone and let us know what game notes we need to know.
Michael Malone with a very just business-like approach. Straight to the point, focused, confident. And I've got to think that's what Denver's coming into tonight with. But a couple key things he said. Talking about Marcus Howard and Shaq Harrison. How much are those guys going to play? Which one of those guys is going to play? He said if we need defense, we'll go Shaq. If we need scoring, if we need offense, we'll go Marcus. Now, I'm sure there's a scenario where both those guys play. If I had to bet, I bet both those guys do play. But it seems like it could be one or the other. So it's really just going to depend on what the situation calls for and what Denver needs.
It's funny because I feel like which guy plays has as much to do with what Portland does.
Yeah.
I'm curious if Portland adjusts this game. You know, they're 1-1, so maybe they feel they don't need to. Let's see what happens on our own home court or whatever.
Right.
But it's not like Denver hasn't scored. And so do they change up their defensive strategy? Because if so, to me, that's what will determine whether or not you are able to put a Shaq in there or if you need to stick with Marcus.
And the way Terry Stotts talked pregame, I don't anticipate them at least changing things up at the start of Game 3.
Okay.
I think they're going to continue to play Yoke one-on-one. And what Terry Stotts pretty much said is we need to do a better job guarding their role players. We can't let those other guys get off. Yoke hit some really tough shots, he said, in Game 2. So I think what Portland wants to do is stick with what they were doing. Could they get to a point where they are doubling him? I think they could, maybe get there as the game goes along, but at least to start things out, I think they'll play him one-on-one straight up like they did in Game 2 and Game 1. The other thing Michael Malone kind of said, the importance of Denver's bench. Of course, Game 3 2 years ago was the game when the Nuggets played Nikola Jokic 65 of 68 minutes. His minutes totals have been pretty low for playoff Jokic so far.
Yeah.
He only played 31 minutes in Game 2, still had 38 points. A reason Denver was able to do that was because of the bench. Monte Morris, Paul Millsap, Mike Malone called it an X factor. So I think it is too. Like if Paul Millsap has an advantage and looks to score and is aggressive and is in rhythm, that's big. I feel like that's key.
Yeah, I mean, Dame gets tired at the end of years, not because of his conditioning. It's not a knock on him because he's been dragging teams through long stretches of seasons, for most of his career. I get the sense that Malone gets the sense that this is an advantage through 2 games, that Dame has played, roughly 20 more minutes so far, I think.
All right.
Yeah, and I mean, Damian Lillard, I said this like all day today on the radio. Damian Lillard had an unbelievable game in Game 2. Like, he was out of control. That first half was crazy. He had 40-something points. Denver still won by, double digits. They won going away. They had bowling at the end of Game 2.
Yeah.
So I've got to think Denver's pretty confident coming into this game.
Yeah. What do you think, Dev? Denver confident?
I think they're extremely confident. I think in that first game, it was just kind of let's play it out and see how things go. Second game was we made our adjustments and we still whipped your ass. And now it's Game 3. It's like, let's see how you adjust to us.
The pressure's totally on Portland.
Yep, they're coming in with the momentum. They're also coming in with the idea of even if your best guy goes off, our best guy doesn't have to go off and we still can win games. He's going to go off because you have nobody that can stop him.
Right.
But we have other guys that are ready to step up as well. So highly confident right now.
Right.
Yeah. The other note I have, same starters tonight. Facu, Austin Rivers, Michael Porter, Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic. No surprise there.
Who do you think is going to guard Damian Lillard on the first possession?
I'll say Austin Rivers.
Okay.
I'll say Austin Rivers.
I think it's going to be Facu. I think Malone's going to wait and see if Portland changes anything before he changes things.
I think they stick with Facu just because you don't want to show your cards too much. And also you want him to have to adjust throughout the game. It's going to take a while for him to snap like, okay, they have this going on. But if you go with him with a different idea, he's just like, what is going on here?
Yeah. All right, I'll go with you guys. I think Facu, but I do think before long we're going to see Aaron Gordon on him.
Sure.
Maybe first sub or whatever.
I think second half. I think that's.
Oh, you don't think they wait till second half?
Yeah, just to see how he plays in that first half. If he goes off, maybe you do it sooner. But I think you give Facu a chance. Also, that's no guy wants to say I can't guard him. He's going to give his best. He's going to go extremely hard in the first half, just because he's like, that's my assignment. That's what I do as well.
Okay. Let's move on now tonight, guys, to our first topic, which is key players. It's funny because we're 2 games into it, and I feel like there have been different key players each time. Who do you feel? I'll start with you, Brendan. Who do you feel like is the most key player for each team, Portland and for Denver? Actually, let's start with Portland. To pick just one guy, can I take 2? Can I take 2? Man, I can't believe it. He can't stick to one, but all right, go ahead. You want 6?
Simons and Melo.
Be bold.
Okay, so bench. You think
the bench,
yeah.
the others. Look, we just saw it. That was as well as any shooter's going to play against you in Game 2, but the others stepped up. For Portland, that wasn't the case, and what you saw was a blowout. So, the Stars are going to do their thing across 7 games if it goes that long. I think the role players on each side will decide this thing.
What do you think,
I
Harrison?
think for Portland, it's Yusuf Nurkic. I think you know what you're going to get from Dame and CJ, I really think, to an extent. If Nurk has a game like he did in Game 1, I think that puts Portland in position to be in a really close game. If he just no-shows like he did in Game 2 and just gets absolutely abused, Denver's going to roll again. So I really think...
Do you feel defensively or offensively then more for him, or both?
Both. More defensively. He's got to at least...
He got roasted in Game 1, too.
Yeah, it's both.
Held Jokic to 34.
Yusuf Nurkic, I really think, has to be great for Portland to win this series.
Yeah.
That's a great pick.
I also agree with Nurkic. I think it's him. I just think that if he's able to score the ball, it makes the Nuggets have to make some type of shift defensively. Also, it just gives them another scoring option. Last game, we've seen Lillard go wild, and we've seen McCollum do what he normally does, and they didn't have anybody else. Yeah. They need someone else, and he's their next guy up. He also is a player that should be coming in with the idea of, this is the guy that replaced me. So I'm not saying that you're going to outplay Jokic, because you just can't, but you also have to have, hold your nuts, show that you have something.
Yeah. I think it's Nurkic too, and I think the other guy I would say is Norman Powell, who I do think they're going to maybe look to put the ball in different guys' hands. CJ already handling it a little bit, but maybe they give it, if you do take Aaron Gordon off of Norman Powell and put him on Damian Lillard, well, is that Austin Rivers now on Norman Powell? Does he now have a size advantage? Can he use his length to get to the basket and be aggressive? That's going to be I think it would fall on him. But more than anything, as I highlighted on the list, I think the strategy is to try to force the ball, to trap pick and rolls high above the three-point line, force it to Nurkic, and now Nurkic has to read the court.
Right.
It's 4-on-3. Offense should have an advantage for a split second. How quickly can he make those decisions? If it's slow, Denver can recover. If it's too fast and he's turning it over, Denver's converting those to points. So he's got to score and pass. So I think that a lot of pressure is going to be put on Nurkic, and if he handles it well, Portland's going to win this game. If he doesn't, Denver's going to win.
He's much improved in that arena this year, too. Those quick decisions, especially on the short roll. But first half of game one, as you point out in the list, I think Denver got the better of him by making him make
Second
those
half,
choices.
too, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I liked what Vogt said, too, about Portland's bench. If Melo has like a 4 or 5 game from 3, if Simons hits a couple threes, because I do think a big battleground in this series is the second units. What second unit has the better night? I mean, through 2 games, here we go. Marcus
we got a Marcus Camby
chant. I don't know why, but we got a Marcus Camby chant at the bar. Through 2 games, the team whose bench has played better has won.
Right.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if that continued in game 3.
Yeah. For Denver, who's the key, Dev?
It's Aaron Gordon. He's coming in with a lot of expectation. Everyone wants him to be the Lillard stopper, and that's just a difficult task for anyone. He stepped up in the way that he's supposed to step up. He's here for defense. He's also the Nuggets' best defensive player, so that's what he was supposed to do. But you look at that interview where the guy asked, he made up what was said, and Lillard just okay.
The magic bullet.
And he's a guy that just builds off of that type of that stuff. That feeds him, that fuels him. And I know that the person that asked that knew that going in. So Lillard's going to come out ultra aggressive, and he's actually probably going to want that matchup.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's why I kind of like the idea of pulling the chair and just not putting Gordon on Dame right away. I feel like mentally he's been preparing for that for 2 days.
Yeah. With Denver, I wonder if we get a big MPJ night. I wonder if that's tonight. Look, it's going to be tough, man. He's going to be playing in front of his first postseason away crowd, and I'm a big subscriber to the theory of first game in front of a ton of fans theory. We're just Portland's going to come out red hot tonight. Yeah. I really do think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
And it's going to be all about how Denver answers that first punch, particularly for Porter, because the crowd's going to be on him. He's going to feel that. And maybe he rises to the occasion. I wouldn't be surprised. We all think he's built for that. So, maybe this is the Porter game tonight.
What do you think?
I would take it.
But for player, key player for Denver, who's the guy you kind of look at?
Yeah, Monte.
Oh,
I thought Monte was
it.
exceptional
He was
off
great,
the bench
man.
in game 2.
He was great.
I think that can help set the tone for that second unit.
Yeah.
Monte, Millsap, those are the 2 guys I'm looking at. I think what you said is the nail on the head. Through 2 games, it's been which bench is better.
Right.
I'm going to go with Wynn's answer on this one and say MPJ. Honestly, all the answers are correct. Denver just needs guys to step up, and they've got so many guys capable of doing it. But Jokic, a given. If he's bad, they're going to lose every game Jokic is bad. So we got to give him. And I think Michael Porter is the second one. He has 25 points and 18 points in the first 2 games. If he has a 30-point night in, and we know he's capable of scoring that, but if he handles the pressure tonight well, and he comes out and gives them that extra boost, knocking down the three-pointers, building a bit of an extension, not only does it calm the nerves of everybody else, okay, we got 2 guys scoring at a high volume now, we can just do our thing, but it also puts pressure on the Blazers of, you're not getting to this dude. I think there's so much, too, when you go into a new situation, crowd, playoff atmosphere, all this stuff. How you set the tone early carries you, not just for this game, but going forward. And if Michael Porter comes out, he's a little shaky, he's airballing, he's turning it over, he's not guarding, those types of things, the crowd's going to feel that, and they're going to be all over him every time he touches it to remind him about it. But if he comes out and he drains a couple early threes and he gets to the rim and he shows him, like his buddy Trae Young has done this week, that this don't scare me. This is what I live for. If he comes out with that, then I love Denver's chances.
That's why if I'm Denver, I'm trying to get Porter going early. I'm running some plays for him. I'm trying to maybe get that C corner action for him right out of the gate.
A little C corner.
Just get him a quick bucket right at the rim. Get his confidence up. I think that's going to be big.
I like it, man. Might be a first basket bet.
Ooh.
A little C corner, first play, try to get Porter at the rim.
And I think he's been good through 2 games. I just think he hasn't put it all together.
Yeah.
He had half the package game 1, the other half in game 2.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be beautiful if he puts it all together tonight?
So speaking of Michael Porter going behind enemy lines, we have a new segment here, and it is Who Do You Want in the Fox-Hole?
Oh, no. Actually,
do we have the graphic here? I think I said it right. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I said it wrong. Who do you want in the Fac-Hole?
The Fac-Hole.
The Fac-Hole.
The Nuggets are going in. Look at this horrible graphic here.
Hit
wow.
that A. You got to make sure you hit that
Incredible
A
right here.
Fac-Hole.
The Fac-Hole. So the Nuggets are right now going into a high-pressure situation on the road fans who haven't been there in forever. Somebody, by the way, I don't know, a physicist in our midst, guys. I don't know if you read the comments in the last show. We were talking about how loud it was, and somebody said, yes, that's because bodies absorb sound, but plastic chairs reflect it so much that it actually gets louder. So having a half-full stadium could actually be louder because it's the surface.
Wow. So I was right when I said that Jokic 3 was one of the loudest moments
You might
ever.
be. So the Nuggets now go into Portland and they have, half-empty arena. Maybe it's the loudest that it'll ever be. Portland won't need the fake decibel meter.
Who is this physicist? Show yourself.
Show yourself, physicist. A little real Einstein in our midst. But no, guys, this is going to be a high-pressure environment. And if Denver doesn't take it, oh, man, we're getting going.
Here we go.
Give them their moment. Give them their moment.
I'm telling you, this place is ready to, the lid is ready to blow off. I love it, man.
Is that Spano on the mic?
That is Spano. He's here and he's hopped up. Listen to
that's
him.
him.
That is definitely Spano.
I mean, who else would it be
Dude,
if we're being
Spano
honest?
does not need a microphone.
He doesn't need a mic actually at all. Anyway, it's going to be pressure filled. So, the Fac-Hole rankings. Brendan, I assign this to you. Who is number one in your I trust this guy in enemy territory so much?
Now, I don't want to upset anyone this early on a Thursday.
Well,
But I'm going to be bold, and I'm going to take Jokic number one.
hard agree. Strong agree. I think Jokic is that dude.
Yeah. I would, I know you're not supposed to say it in 2021. I'll say it. I would go to war with Jokic. I wouldn't go to war with anyone, but he would make me feel better.
Also, go to war with Jokic sounds like you would go to war against Jokic, which I would not do.
That's right.
I
yeah.
would not go to war against
All right.
Jokic.
No, don't like my odds.
We've learned a lot about me here. I'm soft. Number 2 on this list, maybe controversial, namesake Facundo Campazzo.
Wow, this is controversial.
There we go.
This is controversial.
I'm taking
in
him.
the Fac-Hole.
It
He's in the
extends.
Fac-Hole.
It
built the
extends
Fac-Hole.
obviously beyond his NBA career. This is his reputation, right, from international ball. And of course, he's not going to outplay Damian Lillard on this stage. But what he has looked like through 2 guys is a Fac-Hole guy.
Yeah. A couple threes from Facu tonight. Couple steals. Look,
Seems like he always hits them when they count.
Let me ask
when
this.
they matter.
Who is the crowd going to key in on tonight?
Facu.
I think Jokic and Facu. I think those will be the 2 guys. Is there anybody else? MPJ maybe?
No, I think that they feel confident with how they're defending MPJ. They're just
I'm
like...
saying the
if he
crowd
makes-
though. You think the crowd?
it's going to be Facu. It's Facu. They know they can't get under Jokic's skin.
Yeah.
There's just nothing you can say. Also, it's like respected.
Yeah.
It's Facu.
Facu's the most likable and least likable player at the same time. Most likable for us.
Yeah.
Least likable for
Oh, you know you'd
actually
hate him.
everyone else.
Oh, you know you'd hate
He's
him.
getting booed tonight.
He's
Yeah.
getting booed hard tonight.
Number 3 on. I feel good with this one. I feel like some folks might have had him too. I'm taking the mayor of Chopper Circle, Mr. Nugget himself, Monte.
Man, I
Morris.
love this one. All right, Mr. Nugget.
Yeah.
Monte. He's talking so much trash. You guys
That's it, bro.
see how much trash
That's
he's talking?
it.
Yeah.
Monte believes in himself, and it doesn't really matter what's going on around that. That's the base layer of going into any game with Monte. He's not going to back down.
Did you guys watch Nuggets 360? Shouts to Taylor, friend of the show, Taylor Vinchek, who films these. Did you guys see they had Monte in the game? He's just all over the place. Walking to timeouts, he's barking. He's yelling. I mean, he is like, that dude is not afraid to elevate the stakes, man.
You need guys like that, man. You
It's always
need
the little
guys
ones.
who are just not afraid. Monte Morris is not afraid of anyone.
It's the little guys. They're like, yeah, I've been talking trash my whole life. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? Come on, that's how I do it.
How do you think I got here?
Yeah.
It's literally built for this. And also with a team like the Nuggets, it's a quiet bunch. Jokic is their best player, and he's quiet about everything. MPJ is a very young player. There's really, like, Facu, who knows if he trash talks? Like, he trash talks with his game. You need a guy that's going to give you some type of momentum, some type of swagger. That's the swagger champ, man.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of young dogs growing into junkyard dogs. They did it with the help of Dad. I'm taking Paul Millsap, number 4 on this list.
I love that pick.
Get ready to go home. Not on Paul Millsap's watch.
Yeah,
Man,
I love that.
Millsap's seen everything. Like he's been around so long. He's like, oh, it's at a half full arena. Cool, bro.
He's not concerned.
Down 18 in the third quarter of an elimination game.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Been there.
I also think I remember the best team, that Millsap that was on prior to Denver just got mowed down by peak LeBron James. Like,
Oh yeah.
he's not scared of like Damian Lillard. You
Right,
know?
right.
Paul Millsap's seen worse. So,
Right.
and then from there, guys, I kind of feel like this list gets hard.
I mean, there's a lot of guys that I feel confident. The one other guy that wasn't mentioned, I think JaMychal Green might be this guy. Now, he's limited by, do I trust him because do I just trust him in general? You know, like, is he going to make a bunch of threes and get a bunch of stops? I don't know. He's got tough assignments. But in terms of, like, playing to, like, not getting rattled, I don't think he's getting rattled.
I don't think so either. And if he's not in rhythm, like if his jumper's in rhythm, you still know like you're going to get that edge from him. You're going to get that fight from him. Like it's not like he's going to back down because his jumper's not going in or whatever. He's still going to battle. He's still going to throw an elbow into somebody or something.
Yeah.
So 2 names I want to put on this list, but I just don't think I would yet. And that's Porter and Aaron Gordon. Now, I think Porter will get there. I do. I think eventually we'll be talking about him that way, but we're not there yet. And
We haven't seen it. He's got to prove it.
And these games are the proving grounds, right?
Totally.
This is where he goes out, and this is where he's tested.
I mean, we haven't seen it with Facu either, but you threw him on there, but whatever. We'll let that slide. We'll let it slide.
He has an entire career of stepping up when it matters.
Gordon's an interesting one because he's another guy that's just never really been in this environment.
Right.
So.
I mean, this isn't the Eastern Conference. Like, I'm sorry, Eastern Conference, but this is not it.
Guys, don't be sorry.
Wind can't go 24 hours without dumping on the East.
I mean, it's just like not the same. It's just not. This is the playoffs. This is the Western Conference playoffs.
Strong agree.
Yeah.
Anybody else, Dev, on the list? This is it. One reason we talked about Shaq or Marcus Howard. You know, Shaq's defense. When you get rattled, you still play defense. Like that's just effort and everything. Shooting is the thing. So I wonder if tonight is a Shaq Harris night, just because it's like we know there's no nerves there.
Yeah, you don't have to. Regardless, you know what you're going to be. You're going to play hard. You're going to give those minutes. Not much is expected of you than to play hard. There's no rattling a hard worker. There's no rattling a hustle guy. So regardless, he's going to be himself. Marcus Howard, he could be rattled. He's never been in a situation like this in his entire life. So this is a big moment for those type of players. I would go with Shaq Harrison if I had to.
Okay, alrighty.
Yeah,
And then the guy who built the Fox-Hole, Michael Malone, he's in there.
Oh, my God,
He's the first
man.
one in there. First one in, last one out.
The only thing I'll say about Michael Malone is he might get too hyped. I'd be a little worried about him tonight as the juices get flowing like half court, on the court, like the assistant coach for Portland the other day. Mike Malone might pull one of those, so that's the other thing. All right, guys, great show so far. Let's open up America's top-rated
Let's
sportsbook
do it.
app,
Let's make
DraftKings
some money.
Sportsbook app,
Money.
and let's let Dev tell us. There's some winners to be made tonight.
winners.
There's money to be made.
Winners.
What are we looking at?
So first off, we'll just go with the line. They gave us one. They gave us one.
did
Talk
they?
to me.
Nuggets plus 3.5.
Wow.
After just beating the living hell out of them? Like, come on, man. This is a Nuggets team that, like, they're not rattled. They're going to go right into Portland, and they know what to expect. Like, you know what to expect from them. It's going to be domination.
Let me ask one question. Nuggets plus 138 for that money line, or you've got this crowd, man. Or you've got Jokic to get a double-double and the Nuggets to win plus 175. Just gets a little more juice.
I like that one because
I
we
like
know
that
what's going to
one.
happen.
He knows he's gonna
If
get a
you already-
double-double.
If you already believe in your Nuggets, which I do, you already know it, Jokic. You could just pencil him in for a double-double. So, yes, you go with that one. You
Player
get more money
parlay,
on it.
double-double and win. Jokic
I'm making
plus
a little
175.
Yeah, I'm making a little deposit right now.
Little deposit. Wow, look at that.
Yeah, that's
Alrighty.
one that just
So
stands
rather
out
than
for me.
money line, we kind of like that one. But if you like money line's good too.
And it's at plus money, plus 138
Yeah.
if you want money line. I like the 3.5 just to be sure. I know this is going to be a close one, but I feel like the Nuggets is going to pull it out. Oh, yeah.
We're going to need a new mic by the end of tonight, probably. Here
Oh,
we
yeah.
go.
Y'all hear it. Y'all
Look
hear
at this
it.
place, man. Look at this place.
Here we go.
All right, so
All right,
let's
what
go
else we
over to let's go to the player props.
Okay.
This is a game that I truly do feel like Michael Porter Jr. is going to stand out in. I think that he's going
He
to be
will,
ready
one
for
way or
the
another.
moment.
He will stand out.
I think that this is a game that he blows up in. I think that we're going to see a 30-plus point game.
Oh, I
Why not
love it.
take it at 23.5? That
All
is
right.
my lock. 23.5 for Michael Porter Jr.
That's your lock.
That is my lock.
I love Dev.
I really like it.
I love
think
Dev,
he's just
man.
gonna do well.
Spice. That's a spicy lock. Michael Porter in his first road playoff
Because
game.
I believe
Going
in
off.
it. I believe in it.
All
I
right.
think he
Is
goes
this
off.
your on the record or off the record pick?
both? Both of them.
All right. All
I'll
right.
tell you guys the off the record one. not on air. On record.
Yeah, you can't let the books adjust with that one.
Another one that really does stand out for me as well is Fac-Hole. It's only at 9.5. I feel like this is a game that he'll make a couple of threes in. So you could take that 9.5.
He might not make anything else, though.
It's pretty low. I really do. Yeah, you might as well get the points, rebounds, and assists if you're going to go with that.
Or just take 3-pointers. He's at 1.5.
You could say, but I feel like Jokic is at 1.5, so you got to go with,
right.
the one that's going to take all of the shots.
Okay.
Yeah, so if I do Fac-Hole is 18.5 as his points, rebounds, and assists, I feel comfortable with that one.
Okay.
What else stands out? Is there one that you like?
I always like the 3-pointers. Jokic 1.5 threes. The value is not great on it, but I like him to take some threes. I look at it tonight. I do like Facu's 1.5 threes because I think he's going to have, like, for Denver to win, I think Facu probably needs 2 3-pointers. So I think I like that one. What else? What do you guys have? A point rebound? I think Jokic's rebounds tonight might be high. What's his line at for rebounds? 11.5. I could see this being a big rebound night for Jokic.
He's been having big rebounding nights too. That is a solid.
He had a low one last game, but one of the big questions is, are they going to adjust to how they're guarding Jokic? And once they adjust, I do think the rebounds, all of a sudden he's going to be getting 14, 15 rebounds a night. So is this the night they make an adjustment? Does he feast in the first quarter? So they're like, all right, double team, let's get the ball moving.
Facu over 5.5 assists is plus 125. He had 6 last game, 5 in game 1. So if Denver's going to have a good offensive game, that could hit.
Again, I like that one solely because, again, if they adjust and they start doubling Jokic hard, I feel like the ball gets moving and Facu's going to have to make, Jokic a lot of hockey assists. So I kind of like it. All right.
I mean, we have to go with one that just stands out, of course. Damian Lillard.
Oh.
Damian Lillard. His points is only at 32.5. We've seen what that guy can do. He's also coming in extremely motivated. He feels like he went off and they still didn't do well. I think that he's going to really try to go off this time, which, he might get some calls where he gets to the free throw line just for some. And he also, I don't think that he wanes in the second half. So I think that that's one that you kind of have to lock in. Like it's a lock.
All right. Those are some good bets, man. Those are some good bets. I feel like we're low. Should we just take Michael Porter threes because I always love taking it?
Why not?
This is a dumb bet. I don't know if it's actually going to hit. 3.5 is so high, but F it, you guys.
It's going to hit.
It's so fun. Let's bet it.
Can you imagine the pandemonium if he has a huge game and that hits?
It's going to be insane.
Two more for those of you that are feeling real loose and lucky. Monte Morris assists 3.5. He had 7 last game.
Okay. I like that. Look at that inside info right there.
And then blind bet every time. Don't even tell me the line. Compazzo rebounds. Give me the over.
Taking the over, huh? He will get rebounds if he's on the road, so I like it. All right, we got a lot of bets out there tonight, guys. This should be a lot of fun. Guys, the energy's great. Nuggets get a win, I promise you. I don't care how late it is. Serbia, Australia, Argentina, I don't care where it is. You're going to want to stay up. Nuggets get this win. This place is going to be popping. We'll see you right back here right after the game.
Let's go!